What's up, guys? Justin, our self-supporting here, bringing you guys a brand new video today. Today I'm bringing you guys another ranked video of another casual, cheap, inexpensive deck you guys can play on Master Duel. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys some replays. We'll get into it. This deck is good around Gold 1, pretty much all the way up from the starting rank all the way up to about Plat 5, Plat 4. I've beat some Plat 3 players. It just kind of depends on their pilot and obviously and if I misplay or not. So I'm not the best Yu-Gi-Oh player, but luckily I do have a good bit of experience with the Yosenju deck, and that's the deck we're actually going to be covering today. And I played the deck probably differently than most people. I don't even think people play this deck really. So yeah. So basically this deck is a normal summon deck. Each Yosenju besides the Shinshu L in my hand that you see right now and the Sujik. I apologize for that background noise. I need to cut this off somehow. Let me disable this so we don't hear that. Sorry about that. So yeah, so everything but the Sujik and everything but the Shinshu L actually normal summons another Yosenju when the other one's normal summons. So comma 1 can summon comma 2 or 3, comma 2 can summon comma 1 or comma 3, comma 3 can summon comma 2 or comma 1, and all of them can summon Shinshu or Sujik, but they can't summon any of the numbered commas. So while they each have on-field effects, comma 2 or comma 1 says when you control another Yosenju, you can bounce one card on your opponent's field. And comma 2 says you can attack your opponent directly, but the damage that you attack your opponent with is halved. And then comma 3 says anytime a Yosenju does damage to your opponent, you can search a Yosenju card from your deck to your hand. So that was the first duel. I OTK'd him. Going into the next duel. But yeah, so, and then the Sujik says you can discard it while you're doing battle with the Yosenju monster, and the targeted monster gains 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. It also has the effect, if it's on field, it can target any Yosenju, and it also gains 1,000. So it's a hand trap, and it has an on-field effect for 1,000. So I also play Fireforming Shintenki, as you can see, because it just searches any of the Yosenjus, and they're all wins, by the way, so that sets you up for some really dope rank 4 plays. Like Lightning Chidori, stuff like that, Harpies, I think it's Pet Phantasmal Dragon. Just a lot of really good rank 4 plays in this deck, and you don't even necessarily need to rely on your extra deck to win. So that's what I like so much about this deck, is half the time you can just stun your opponent out with trap cards and use your Yosenju effects and just win the game. So as you see, I went Baguska turn 1 just because I didn't know what I was playing. Comma 1 bounced it, and then as you can see when I attack with comma 1, comma 3 activates its effect and I add the comma 2 to hand. The reason I add the comma 2 is because even if my opponent puts up a monster next turn, I can attack directly and search another card with comma 3. So that's kind of the whole point of adding. Make sure you have at least all of the numbered commas in your hand. Went ahead and Solemn Judgmented the Cyber Dragon. He went ahead and scooped up. I kind of knew that they rely on that card a lot. Obviously, the deck's called Cyber Dragon for a reason. So a quick one. Now we're going into the Plat games. I believe this first game, I don't exactly remember what I was playing, but I do know it was meta. And I believe I was going second. And there's a lot of technicals. This is probably the most technical duel that we played. So I'm actually going to speed this one up because my opponent just... Okay, yeah, it was Lyralus Tribird. Gotcha. So it was playing Tribird, and I'm speeding his first turn up because, you know, this kid just went balls to the wall. He set up a great board. Unfortunately, I don't think he was much of a pilot. I baited him pretty hard with a lot of effects, and you'll see what happens. But he did set up an amazing turn 1 board. I think it pretty much essentially as good as he can set up. So I just let him go through his plays. Goes Draco Future. That's the negate. Still has plenty of cards in his hand and is a loaded graveyard. 9 cards in his graveyard already. Summons the Smorg. That doesn't even hurt us because Yosenju's normal summon. This man summons a in Sim Blue with like 7 materials. It's pretty crazy, 6 materials. And then ends on that, and I go ahead and open up. I'm going to go ahead and slow down here. So I went ahead and I feather dusted the Judgment. As you can see, I drew the secret move. So the reason I play the L, the whole reason I play this card is because if you set it in the pendulum scale, you can activate secret move during your opponent's turn. Because Yosenju's bounce to the bounce on the end phase to your hand, so you always have to have a Yosenju on the field to activate secret moves. So I played the 1 or 2, I think I played 2 Shinshu, and you can actually search it with comma 3. So a lot of times I'll be searching either one of these cards. So if I draw this, I can search this. If I draw this, I can search this off of comma 3, and it just sets up an Omni Negate during either player's turn. And that's the whole reason I play it. I mean, that's these 2 cards are really underrated. I know back in the day when people played Yosenju, they never played this card, but it's essentially a Solemn Judgment with no cost during opponent's turn. So, yeah, I went ahead and torrential his field. He still has the negate, and he obviously can pop off because he has the bird call and just so many resources. His graveyard is stacked. He has 14 cards, 15 now. The assembled Nightingale with 4 material. I went ahead and judgmented that. And he attacked me, and I had 1,000 life points left. He is still at 8,000. So this is the main reason right here. So I knew he had a negate, but so did I. And secret move. Also, Shinshu says if your Yosenjus would be destroyed, I believe by battle, you can actually destroy it instead to save it. So I was able to go ahead and go through summoning comma 3 and then summoning Sujik. I bounced it with comma 1 and then targeted Sujik with itself and just went ahead and swung. Added this secret move. Now this is a clutch card right here. The secret move, I added it because even though my Yosenjus are going to turn to hand, I still have Shinshu on the field. So he has 1 card, going to draw into 2. So I have an Omni Negate on his turn. That is live. So I knew he was probably going to go for the Shureg. So I went ahead and negated it. And honestly, that's kind of what sealed the deal right there. And he went ahead and scooped it up. So good game. And on to the last replay. And then I will show you guys the deck list. I believe this was against Virtual World. So it is against meta decks. One of the decks I believe we showed wasn't meta, but everything else was. So sorry, I had to send a text message. So I kind of, even if you brick, as long as you draw like a trap, you could pretty much just waste time. I went ahead and judgmented the Desires because, I mean, that's just a really bad neg. I know it cost half my life points, but I knew he wasn't going to OTK me here because I had the strike. And if I activate it at the right time, pretty much stops his whole turn. Okay. He goes into Charge Warrior here, and I believe I strike it because I don't want him to get that plus, and it also gets his body off the field. And I'm down to 2,500, and he just ends phase. Okay. He max sees me because he just doesn't understand these cards, I guess. That's completely alright, my guy. Max C does nothing. On a battle, just do some damage. I do get a double search here. So that's really awesome. So I go ahead and search and negate. I thought I got a double search. I guess common 3 is once per turn. My fault. So these return to hand, and I still have the Omni Negate during my opponent's turn. That's why I searched the trap, because Shinshu was in my hand. Went ahead and negated that because he only had 1 card, so he was out of resources at this point. Alright, add the Judgment, because I know I am in game range. And then I just attack for game, get my search. And added the Sujik just in case he had a way to put a monster on the board. And we went ahead and took that win. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the deck list really quick, and then we will... That'll be the end of the video. So deck, Yosenju. Alright, so the extra deck could be better, but I try to make this deck as affordable as possible for everyone. So the good thing about the Yosenjus is every one of them are rares. All of them. And Sujik's normal. So you can play, I mean, discretion. If there's better cards that you guys want to substitute these URs for, you can. But I play 3 of the 1, 2, and 3. I play 1 of this. I guess I only play 1 of this because it's searchable, which makes complete sense. Usually end up drawing it or search it off of 3. Play 2 of your hand trap, and I play 1 of this guy. You didn't see him, but basically when he's normal summoned, you can draw a card. So usually I'll normal summon these guys and I'll have him in hand, and he's just a +1. So play the 1 Feather Duster, 2 Demise. You could play 3 or you could play none. It's definitely a good Demise deck, though. Highly recommend it because they return to hand after Demise discards at the end of turn. So honestly, you could bump that up to 3. 3 Duality, 3 Desires. This can be any draw card. This could be Extravagance, honestly, or Prosperity. The Lightning Storm, just because going second. 3 Tenki, searches all your cards. 2 Twin Twister for going second. 3 Torrential because it's amazing. You don't have board presence on your opponent's turn. 3 Compulse, it's just a good trap. And then I play 3 Strike and 3 Judgment because, I mean, that's self-explanatory. They're strikes and judgments. They just stop. They just end turns sometimes. And then I play the 2 Searchable Secret Moves, which is just an Omni Negate. It's just a really good card. So for the extra deck, I play the Utopia Lightning Package. I play Kochi Kochi Dragon because it's cheap, and I had it. I play this guy because, I mean, it's kind of good. Play Diamond Dyer because it's removal. I play one of your best extra deck cards, Lightning Chidori. 2 level 4 wind monsters. A Fairy Cheer Girl just for the draw and just because it's a rare and it's cheap. Harpy's Pet Phantasmal Dragon. 3 level 4 winds. Can attack your opponent directly. Masquerade because it's a negate during the battle phase and it inflicts damage. Heartland Draco is really good. I go into this card a lot. Basically, if you have a Tinky on the field, this card cannot be targeted for attacks, and it can attack your opponent directly. So that's pretty cool. Gaga Samurai. I need to get a Cowboy, but I just don't have enough stuff right now. And I'm a free-to-play player. I don't put any money into the game. Try to help you guys with that if you guys need it. So it can target itself, and it can attack twice. You guys saw it in the replay. And then Baguska, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's a really good going first card. Dagaris, it doubles your damage, and also you can draw 2 cards. I've never really used it. And then obviously the Lightning. So that's the deck, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys want more content, let me know what you guys want me to cover, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.